Hi, this is Jane with Green Side Up. Today's topic is Dieffenbachia, and I want to tell you that this is a topic that was suggested by you, the viewers, and so if you have any other topics that you would like to hear about, please leave a message at the bottom of the video at the end of the video. Dieffenbachia is what we're going to talk about today, and they are also known as dumb, D-U-M-B, cane. The reason for that is that Dieffenbachias have a substance that they give off, and it's an irritant. It can irritate not only your skin, but it can also irritate the inside of your mouth. So this is a plant that if you have cats and dogs and children who mess around with your plants, who chew on them, this would not be a good plant for you to have. Anyway, what this substance will do is it can actually kind of numb your mouth, and so it will cause, it can cause drooling, and it can cause a person to not be able to speak real well. People like Dieffenbachias because they are a beautiful plant. They are a native of the tropics, for instance, kind of down by Mexico, that hot area down there, also Brazil. They come in, of course, some different colors. You've got your green with your sort of mottled leaves. You can see some different colors here. So they are a very beautiful plant. They can get fairly large. And I don't have any small ones here that I just started. Mine are fairly big. But these can continue to grow. And they will get, fairly big in your house. These plants are relatively easy to take care of. For watering, you want to make sure that you water them well, but then you want them to be able to drain. And I guess you're going to hear a lot of this in plant care. Plants don't want to be sitting in water. So generally you're going to let them drain. When they get dry to the first probably couple inches, 2 to 3 inches on top of the soil, put your finger in and it's dry, that's when you would water them again. People will ask me, well, how often do I water the plant? It depends on how big a pot they're in, it depends on what kind of soil they're in, it depends on how much light they're getting, and it depends on how much water that plant likes. So your own plant in your house, you're going to have to kind of figure it out on your own. Sorry, I don't have an exact answer. So you're going to let your plants water, you're going to water them, you're going to let them drain. If you have your plants sitting in too much water or they're getting too much water, you can actually get yellowing of the leaves, and I do have a plant I can show you those yellowing of the leaves. Fertilizing, you'll want to fertilize them just using a regular houseplant fertilizer, and always on your houseplant fertilizers or any kind of fertilizer, make sure you follow the directions as to how often you do that. As far as light, they like indirect bright light. Don't put them in a north window, don't put them in a south window. Now with the light, it changes, of course, wintertime to summertime. And so always your windows may vary, or how close you have them to a window might vary according to the seasons. And again, at your own house, you're going to be able to kind of be able to tell, yes, it's happy, no, it's not, I need to move it as far as light. This is a plant that does not like temperature extremes. It comes from the tropics, so it likes temperatures, say 60 to 75 degrees. With any kind of plants, they do not like to be by registers that are giving hot air, and they don't like to be by air conditioning that's giving cold air. So if you have those registers sitting next to your windows, you're going to have to kind of move your plants so they are not in that direct airflow, because no plants like that. Dieffenbachia is a plant that is relatively pest-free. I did note that it talked about spider mites. Spider mites are tiny, tiny little insects that, little mites that can get on your plants. You could actually see webbing. You know how a spider web, a regular spider has a web? Well, spider mites don't have that big of a web. They're very tiny, they're very minute. Sometimes if you'll have, for instance, an insect problem, or you'll have spider mites, you'll see that the plant just doesn't look vibrant. It's just not as green, it's just not as pretty. Have a look at your plant close up and you may see some insect activity. always you can treat your plants with an insecticide and that is safe for houseplants. And that should take care of your spider mites and anything else that you've got. So this is a plant, this Dieffenbachia, that has some yellowing of the leaves. And it is very possible that this yellowing is from a water issue, probably too much water, although it could be not enough water, or it could be some of each. So if you start to get yellowing of your leaves like this, it often means that you are giving that plant too much water. Let it dry a little bit more in between your waterings. Make sure that it drains well. With any kind of plant, always make sure that you have pots that have good drainage, so that if you get too much water, they can drain through, and then it's not going to become an issue. As noted at the beginning of this, Dieffenbachia are toxic to animals and to people. Be careful when you're working with them so that you're not getting any of the sap on your hands. Make sure you don't get it in your mouth or your eyes. Make sure you keep your pets and children away from them. Other than that, if you don't have those kind of issues to worry about, you just enjoy your beautiful Dieffenbachia plant. If you have questions or comments, please leave them at the bottom of the video. This is Jane with Green Side Up, wishing you a very good day.